In the trenches. In the trenches. In the trenches.
We rolling, man. We good to go. We're back in the warehouse, buddy.
Man, it's been 2 months. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Has it been 2 months?
I think it's been like 2 or 3 months. No, I don't know. We filmed a lot in January.
I think a lot's been going on in a month or whatever it was, 2 months.
You've been more busier than I have.
I've been a lot of places for sure. I've been all over the place.
I think you've had a variety of projects.
Yeah.
I've been on tour.
Sure.
So yeah, we've been traveling, but you've had the scope of different stuff.
I have a lot of cool projects in the works that are starting to come out. But
I think you started with you hit the road with Jake.
Dude, I'm so stoked on that tour. It's the Dreams to Dream tour.
Yeah.
Which is an extension. Well, it's the touring element of when we were in LA recording that record with Shooter Jennings, the Dreams to Dream record, and Kendall Marvel.
Which I love that documentary.
Dude, that doc is what got me so hooked to be on the road and to be shooting video the way I want to shoot video. I've never shot video on the road. Now I am in a documentary fashion to kind of complete possibly that doc to kind of extend it over to part 2, the touring on it.
That doc set the tone of it. You didn't create his new story. You didn't create his whole new look, but it like justified it and it brought it to the public. So now you take that energy, you take that look and that, that emotion, and then you bring it on the road because he's on that vibe, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's different for him. He's not running around, hyping up a crowd with Barefoot Blue Jean Night. Barefoot. He's singing these very heartfelt songs to a crowd that's honestly pretty captivated. It's different. Their energy doesn't have to be rowdy, but they're locking into the lyric. They're locking into the emotion. Yes, it's all theaters, very intimate theaters, and it feels like a night out with Jake Owen. You know what I mean? Like you're taking, there's like a nice date. You're going out, and these theaters are beautiful. We're going to these small towns, ornate theaters, and that's part of the vibe.
Yeah, I can see Jake coming on
here.
Oh yeah.
I got to convince him. He's not a podcast guy.
Which sucks because he has such a great story.
Oh, man. He is
and he's a storyteller. And
he's
like
a friend,
for him to come up here.
Friend of mine.
And he's just in this world right now where he's so real and he's so honest with everything. Dude, come on. He's got to come on.
Jake. You're being hollered
Let's
at.
talk about your awesome life and your awesome tour.
Talk about it. No. He'll do it. I think he will.
Yeah. Okay.
But those have been awesome, and I love touring. I mean, touring is a different element, but it is image making that I do enjoy. There's something about the live, the audience.
Because you're known for doing these big shoots, and you are the director Spidey, but you also have toured like more than I have. I've been doing it for 7 years, but like you have such a past history.
I've toured it all. Yes. Way back when. Like
one of my favorite photos that you've ever taken is, come on, help me out here. It's at the festival.
Who's the artist?
Rock band. Who am I thinking of?
Horn.
Cage the Elephant.
Cage
the Elephant. The picture is.
Oh, where he's triumphantly standing on everything with the mic. Yeah.
It's so awesome.
I love that
Zach
photo.
knows that photo too.
Yeah, that's actually a photo that I think the Morrison Gallery actually has as well. They like that
I think that'd be worth checking out right now. It's just me, though.
We can talk about that
But
photo.
Also, what year was that?
Ooh, that was Pilgrimage 2017, I think.
Okay.
Why do you like that photo so much?
Well, one, because it's Cage the Elephant. But see, I got to pull it up and I got to see it. And it's black and white. It's imprinted in my brain. It's such a moment. And damn well Spidey was doing this little, he does his crawl. He's on here. He's like, he's getting back pain just to get his shot. And he gets it. And it's so good.
I do get the back pain.
Dude, there's something about shooting
Which one?
this one on stage.
Okay.
That's epic. Obviously, the first one when he's in the crowd is so
that one
epic.
gets a lot of attention. That one there.
Your black and white is just so clean, dude.
Thank you.
It's so clean. The one where he's
exhausted. He's exhausted. His back is on the stage. That was just a moment where I was kind of a bit of the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
But definitely I wasn't that close. I was like, wait a minute, I need to get in there.
Whatever, you cropped
I need
in.
I need in on this. No, that's it.
Oh.
That's not cropped. I like shoved.
That, dude,
I got in it. Like I had.
It looks like you're shooting 50 there, so you're really up on him.
I'm on it. I some of that stuff.
Spidey stance, man.
Some of that stuff with Cage, I did feel was possibly the wrong lens for the wrong shot.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, I don't like a lot of total emptiness too much. I like to really fill the frame, whether that can be not sky, but if I can use the side of the arena buildings to create depth, I do. And so sometimes a wider angle lens is too wide and it starts to distort and it looks funny to me.
That's true, but you have to decide what's more important. Is it him in that moment of having a rock star moment? But you have to get the reaction and the environment.
That's it.
You could have shot that from right above him.
Yes, and
that would have been a cool shot. But now you know that
you have context as to where
look
he
at these
is.
thousands of people watching this moment.
Yeah. You have to have the context, I think, and that's why a lot of my music photos are rooted in photojournalism.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Did you tour with these bands?
Yeah, a lot of them, like Three Door. Oh,
no,
that didn't even. Yeah, wow, we haven't even been.
Well,
yeah, like. That came really fast. You see that?
Yeah.
Three Doors Down.
We don't have to dive into that, but
yeah. So I don't know any other. There was tons. I mean, Shine Down.
Dude, you could talk about it.
Oh, it's a tough one. Yeah, I mean,
is it because it's heavy or what?
Yeah, I mean,
like how long did you tour with Three Doors Down?
Well, it wasn't touring, so to speak. You become friends with these people, like, oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. You got to talk about it, though.
When you come up as a director, when I came up and I wanted to do rock videos, I was fortunate enough to be at the same production company as Wayne Isham, who at that time, I mean, if you look up Wayne Isham, he's an icon, a legend as a music video director. And he was doing some of those early Three Doors Down videos. And because I was at the company, I was able to go on set and really start a slight bond with the band. But also, I dreamt of doing Three Doors Down videos. As a video director, it was your bucket, as a rock director.
They were big.
Yeah. And
Kryptonite basically put them on the map, right?
Absolutely. And long and the short, I moved to Nashville, and through some friends, I became friends with Brad Arnold, and our wives would hang out, Jen and Carrie, and he would come over. We would play board games, and I would hear mixes of songs when I was in LA doing a job. He was there mixing. I would go hang out. I mean, we were really friends.
Did you work with each other before, and then you became friends? No way. You were friends first?
Yeah, and then because of that, I jumped on the road, and it was really fun. It was fun. He had a Vespa, and when we got to a city or a destination, we would get on that Vespa and drive places. And that's why you have that photo that I love so much of him and I on a beach. And he just starts walking. He was actually walking thinking I was with him, like walking side by side, but I had stopped
but you're shooting
to take the picture.
Yeah.
We laughed about that. He was like, I guess I'm talking to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and those photos are so real because I was his friend. I was his friend shooting, and then it got to a video, and so he passed away a little bit ago. like he's so healthy, he's so fit. You know what I mean? I have photos of him. I mean, I wished I could be as good of shape as him.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys were the same age, weren't you?
A bit. Yeah. Yeah. And that's very much the truth. 47. He's 2 years younger than me. I turned 50 this year.
You look good for 50.
So it put a lot in perspective, and it hit super close to home for me. And I think that's why I haven't bounced back from Instagram, social media. I haven't posted because I don't know. The will is kind of like, what do we?
Yeah, I told you this, and I think your wife told you this too. It's like you're not using him for, and we don't use any artists for like, I want to get, likes and I want to get follows or whatever. Dude, you're showing your work, and two, like that's your friend.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just be posting pictures of my friends too. You know what I mean? Because I love them, and like the moment that you've had with them, like you want to showcase that to people, Yeah. And nowadays, social media, like sometimes that's half the battle. It's like, show me your work, but also show me your life.
Yeah.
And I think it would be super meaningful to post one of your favorite photos of Brad. Yeah. I personally, as a fan and as a friend to you, like I would love a story.
Yeah. Yeah, they're tough. I mean, I remember a moment even backstage. I was on tour with Jason Aldean in 2011 or something, and they were talking about that show Crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I say
CMT Crossroads.
Yeah, and when I say side stage, I mean after show 1 a.m, waiting for some food, show food from a food truck, right?
Yeah.
And we were just riffing, and I think I said, who's your number one to be on the show? It was early in the getting the guests.
Right.
And he was like, oh man, they're 3 doors down. 3 doors down. And for some reason, it didn't happen. I forget why or whatever. I don't know all those things.
That was primetime Jason Aldean.
And when he said, I go, man, Brad is a buddy. He's like, really? And then I remember telling Brad about that, and I was hoping that was gonna.
But most of the time, like Hardy did it with Nickelback. I remember that, and that's just because there's mutual connections on the back end.
Yeah.
CMT is not like, oh, I'm gonna go out and get this. Maybe sometimes they do, but
yeah.
Man, that's so wild to hear that you guys were friends first, and then you got to do some work together.
I don't think I tour with people who I'm not friends with, in the way that I genuinely love Jake. Jake is a brother of mine. I don't. It's weird.
Man, that's for me too.
Yelawolf. It's all of them. I look at my last text for Yelawolf. Says, man, I love you and I believe in you. I want these photos to be everything for you. So, I mean, it's just I do.
By the way, touring as far as like a long standing rather than just like a one-off. Like I've done a one-off with Miranda, which I'm not friends with her.
Sure.
But I absolutely so much enjoyed her company.
Absolutely. You got.
I would never want to work for anybody I didn't like.
Yeah.
But when you tour, you have to be friends with these people.
Absolutely. You want to get in there.
One of my best friends, hands down.
Yeah. It becomes a road family. And so when something goes,
you've experienced because you've toured back in the day. In your prime, you know what I mean? In prime, when I mean age-wise, where you don't get hungover, you experience all the crazy stuff, and you are having a blast, and you're doing it night after night. See, I've done that, but now I'm like, all right, I'm turning 36. I'm slowly getting to the point of like, I think I'm getting pretty tired, man.
Yeah.
Like those extra 6 beers at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Well, you and I are different because I don't drink.
That's right.
So then I'm on the road. I mean, I'm crashed out by around 12, and from 11, mind you, the show is over at 10:30ish. So in a half hour, I've already showered and I'm starting to upload photos and just get things going.
Yeah, people don't want to hear that, man. People want to hear about when you didn't do that.
Oh, okay. You want to go to the old stories. Okay. I got those stories too.
I mean,
Hey, I was young once.
And it was almost, I feel like this is so naive to say, but it's almost like back in the day, there was no rules. I've heard crazy rock star type stories that because of our phones and social media, you just can't even live that life.
I'll tell you
anymore.
A fun story. I won't mention anybody.
Yeah.
Back of the bus, and it was so much haze, so much booze.
That haze is.
Haze was
some weed
just
there,
weed everywhere, right? And now you're in the back of the bus. There's people in the front of the bus. If you make it to the back of the bus, the lounge, right?
That's the hang.
They were kicking it, right? I forget.
Yeah.
Something tells me it was Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was playing. It was really loud or something like that, right? And there was a mound of blow on the lounge thing, and I'm just chilling, right? And I don't do that shit, but I was drunk, and I was chilling there, and I'm like, let's change this music. And I get up, and this was during the era of the thick brick iPod.
Yeah,
remember that thing that had all the
cocaine?
Songs? You had the little dinosaur era.
Back when it was like,
anyway,
it was good.
I didn't know that it was plugged in, let alone it was plugged in on a short cable. So I lean over the thing to go sit back down and plop in the seat. Well, it slips out of my hand because it grabbed onto the cable.
Yeah.
And poof.
It's just, that haze turned into a snow haze.
I mean, like the music stopped. Like everybody was like, and then kind of all at once, everybody just jumped on the floor and started vacuuming the floor.
It was almost like the 10-second rule.
Oh yes,
everybody get what you can.
It was so funny. I mean, they played it nice, but whatever. Anyway, that was the old school days, man. I'm not going to tell you the era, but it was an era.
Like I said, it felt like it was different back then. That was normal.
Yeah.
That wasn't like, nowadays if you see that stuff, it's a special night.
I mean, those were the glory days.
Yeah.
Those were.
I remember I had to tell my mom one time. I don't know how old I was, mid-20s, and just randomly at the dinner table or whatever. My mom's so cool, and she's like, "Have you ever done cocaine before?" I was like this year, or was it like this month?
Shit.
No, and I had to have that honest, because you become an adult and you get to talk to your parents like an adult, and you'll experience that with your kids.
Yeah. Good of you.
Because
That's cool.
when you get older, you realize like your parents are just adult children, just like you, and they're just real people.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, "Have you ever done this kind of drug?" And I was like, "Sure have." You want to hear the story? She's like, "No, that's okay.
No, I got what I needed." But anyway, tour life is not that anymore. But for me, I am enjoying the documentary from Jake's thing. But
you feel like you're honing more in on the craft now that you're so much more focused. And well, now you're doing video on top of photo.
I mean, I just did a video for Brice. I'm fortunate to move in different avenues of being creative or being visual, for sure. And it's not fortunate through luck. No, I've designed it that way. But I just did a wonderful video for Brice, for Kingdom Come. Kind of fell in my lap, which is kind of how I do videos now. If you're gonna,
you call me up and you're just like, man, I don't have anything on the books, and then he calls me up 24 hours later, man, I got a bunch of stuff on the books. That's how this industry works.
He hit me up at 1:30 in the morning when I was in the Bahamas shooting Yelawolf's album cover.
Yeah,
so I was kind of getting ready to go to bed, and Brice says, "Yo."
I don't know the irony. You could probably look at the date. We posted a clip and it was like, bring music videos back, and sure enough, you get a phone call.
Here we are, and it was fun because
I saw the raw edit, and it's awesome. It's cool.
Thank you. And you know what I love about it?
Back to storytelling,
but kind of back to the early 2000s where you're allowing the frame, you're allowing what is in the frame to entertain you. You're not moving the camera in such a fashion to energize. You're not editing fast to create something.
No, I think the it's almost like the sentimental, more intimate songs. It allows you, even as a creator, to like, hey, chill, and you have to experience this moment just as much as the song reflects. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Now, there was some happy accidents. And when I say an accident, I mean a happy accident that defined the visual of the piece. And that was the Steadicam. And usually I don't like steady. And it was a 1-day shoot.
Yeah.
And so we were hauling 12 hours to get a lot. 2 locations, full lighting. And
for the record, your career, you can like tagline it happy accidents. No, and obviously you have a goal in mind, but like you always tell these stories, which keep talking. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Like you're like, oh, the unexpected always happens on a Spidey shoot. And because it's a Spidey shoot, he always handles it way better than anybody else because it's almost like you were like created for those scenarios.
Thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. The happy accident was the Steadicam and not wanting to stay on it and to have the entire visual be that, because usually it slows me down because I can get more visual dynamics being handheld. Move over here, get this. So in one take of a 3-minute song, I could feasibly handheld get 4, 5 different angles. With Steadicam, you're getting the move, right? But I didn't know it was going to work out as well as it did in the edit, and it just flows with the song.
For the song, it's a very like euphoric, emotional song, and when you're like in a location that he is for the performance part, and you push in like that heavy at a certain moment of the song, that's what's up.
Thank you.
And we've done that. We did that earlier. We literally listened to a song. And we just heard this moment of going from like the bridge into the chorus. You're like, oh, this is a push in, and this thing is going to happen. And then we back to
exactly.
You feel it from the music.
Exactly.
So you did it right.
Yes, I mean you surround yourself with people who all from Mika, the DP, Edgar, my editor, and creative helper on set. Man, we really did. Lee. Everyone, it's just a really awesome piece. I like it a lot. It shows a level of discipline and craft work in a 12-hour day, and I don't think we could have done anything better.
Here's a question for you: how often do you have that same feeling that you did it and you really like it, and you're not hitting yourself with the negatives of like, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish it was this, or you know what I mean? You like you look past your perfectionism and you're like, no, I just killed that. Like, how often do you have that?
Often in the video side of things, because I surround myself with a really rad team.
Yeah.
And it's not guesswork anymore. I do feel that with photo. And that's probably what drives that.
Interesting.
That language. I really feel like as a director, I feel like I was groomed for it as my father being military based, and just me being so athletic and in tennis, which is such a disciplined sport.
Yeah.
Being nationally ranked young, it creates this level of perfection and leader, just the way I am, and directing and being able to communicate that has been my strength. I feel like that is easier for me.
Yeah. But
when I'm alone, left by my own device, and I'm looking for like wall banger photos, it's all on me. And it's like, okay, it's so much is different when you want a photograph to speak.
Yeah.
Versus motion to speak.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do one more fluidly than the other.
I think for directing for you, and this is just as a third party viewing you, because you have so much energy in moments, and you're not the silent creator to be put into like an empty room and then just like overthink and blah blah blah. Like you thrive like in activity and like chaos almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's something about. I've even like talked about this with therapists. Like I grew up. I've always been in flight or fight mode, and they say that artists create better in chaos, but then they don't thrive in isolation.
I mean, are you one of those people who are you a procrastinator? Because you're better as the pressure gets to the wire.
I think that was
It's not about procrastination, you, me, being lazy. No. It's that the fuel or the pressure, fuels performance.
I think that's the line I meant to say. It's that artists and people who have been living in flight or fight mode do better under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's I have to make a video within 48 hours. Literally 48 hours. And I'm probably going to film myself. I haven't done it before. Being like, all right, I have a complete blank page. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but then there's something about like, I don't know, you just start figuring it out and then you get a high from figuring it out. And then everything starts coming together.
Boom.
And then the ideas keep flowing. It's almost it's interesting.
It's a flow state.
Yeah.
Something else I've done recently reminds me of that, which was my shoot with Morgan Wallen recently.
That's right.
For his new press photos and photos that he's going out with as the tour ramps up not long from now. So that one, it was a part of something else that he was doing that day, which had the most of his attention, right? So back to that pressure situation is, I know over the course of maybe a 5-hour span of time that Morgan was at the set, not my set, the set. I had my set a part of another one. I had less than 20 minutes total.
But this is an untraditional shoot.
Because
not just for you, but for anybody.
Yes. We were on location and I had to find 3 or 4 setups that were going to be awesome for him that he can do while pulling him away from his other engagement.
Yeah.
So he's already hyped up from what he's doing. I got to keep him. I got to find these moments and pretty much report back like, yeah, I got a nice little spot right over here. I'm ready for whenever he's ready. So I have 3 minutes, right? 3 minutes to bang it out, knowing that most of that is just wrangling the energy of him, finding the light from Zach, who's off to the corner, getting our light. Again, Morgan's got his hat low and he's moving this way and he's moving this way. And I'm trying to figure out where his hat line is going to be for nostril shadows. So, in that 3 minutes, I might have 4.
Yeah.
4 clicks that I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And I need to know that because I need to say, we're done. We got it. Move on. Because when we did move on after 3 or 4 minutes, it was reported back to me that you're going to get all your setups.
By the way, 3 or 4 minutes is like,
no,
that is no time.
Not at all.
That is the definition.
Zach's heart is racing.
I know
again.
That's the definition of working under pressure. And I'm sure Zach was freaking out being with the biggest country star like of all time. Right. But you have worked with him and I know him as a person. Like he's willing to like, let's do it. Let's do it. But at the same time, he's a human being. So he just probably did this whole shoot, and then they're like, "All right, now you have to go take pictures."
No, it's in between that shoot.
Oh well, so
even
either
worse.
way, I'm sure he's like, his mind is like.
But what was really rad was I thought, okay, I'm gonna get him for this because he's right here. But he trusted how fast I was, and was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go back and change. I want a different outfit now. So now he was.
He said that.
Yeah, he was a participant in being creative.
See, he still cares.
Yes,
as they should.
Yes.
If the artist doesn't care, that's when you go home and you're like, we didn't get it.
And he trusts that I'm gonna get it fast, and he knows if I let him go, we got it. Mm-hmm. And that is that pressure that you have maybe 18, 17 minutes over a course of 4 hours, 5 hours.
Yeah, and I saw some of those selects, and both of you guys crushed it. It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Zach did an amazing job. And that was like
I love the ones in the seats, too.
Dude, that was our second shoot together. Tongi was our first.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, we're throwing Zach in the trenches, dude.
We got to get him in on an episode.
That's when you become a fan of the show, and now you are the show, man. Obviously, there's pros and cons to touring, but like it's that life in the fast lane, which sounds so cheesy, but it's just it's run and gun. It's like there is pressure there. So it's like, well, there's a moment here that I have to get, and I have to get to the place to get it. Dude, I'd be sprinting around these stadiums. And I don't even know if that's necessary or whatever, but I'd be running my ass to get that wide. And then I know that I have to get back on stage to make sure that this moment of the song, it's like, that's where we get it. But then at the same time, you're shooting the same show every single day. So how do you get variety? That is like the biggest challenge that I'm still working on after 7 years of doing this.
Let me ask you some.
I don't want to get the same shot over and over. Otherwise, Hardy even is like bored with this.
How do you wake up?
I wake up
inspired,
hungover, super hungover. I'm like on my deathbed. But you know what? I have 3 drinks. The first one's a Pedialyte. Then I have a coffee. So then I'm getting my numbers right. Then I have to go into catering and I get a Sprite because it's very refreshing. And then I drink as much water as I can. That's pretty. Yeah.
Okay, I meant more of like inspired to work. But hey,
well,
no, I mean, like, do you wake up and go, "Oh, how am I going to do this?" Or do you wake up and go, "I have a new story to tell"? Or I mean, are you waking up video minded or photo minded? Honestly,
I think I'm always video minded.
Okay, I thought so too.
Because I got the green light to start making cool stuff again.
There we go. So now
it's not so much when I wake up. It's more of like you go into an arena and you think of the area. Like this sounds ridiculous, but it's like, oh, what city are we in? What state are we in? If it's in Ohio or Michigan, you know the show is going to be awesome. So then I know, all right, I got to get some stuff outside of the building because there's going to be a line waiting outside, and you want to capture people sitting on the ground for hours, even though it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
But they're waiting to get it, and that stuff is classic. That's when like you were a fan of music, and you were like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna put a tent up just to get front row of the show. So every new place that we go to, I'm always like, what's something different, but also what's something epic that I can get that maybe the show prior I wouldn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you go through your stuff that you shot from the night before, and you're like, okay, I got that. So now if I got this shot or if I got this stuff, well, maybe I'm going to go wide today, you know, or maybe I got to be more on stage to get those moments. And most of the time, every single show, I'm like, I got to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like, all right, Hardy's on stage for this song. He starts it with, you know, for example, Psycho, and he's up there. Well, that's such a moment where everyone's just looking at him and he's the focus. And I always am like, oh, I can't get up there. Like, I don't want to be a distraction. But then the moment I say, fuck it, and I get up there and I get right up in his face and I don't give a shit what anybody is seeing, dude, that's the shot. Like that's the stuff I love.
Do you have that photo?
I think it's a video clip, if anything.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a few. Actually, you know what? I do have a photo right now.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you told that story, by the way. You were in it. You were living that.
Yeah, hold on. I'm pulling this shit up just for context.
Hey, do you ever have a situation where Hardy asks for a photo? Dude, did you get that moment? And you go, I shit the bed.
It's usually it's a one of one moment where it's like the crowd. It's like, did you see that kid like literally standing on somebody's shoulders? Or, hey man, you see that girl with her tits out? Like, you know, tell me you got that. Or you know, there's one time where there's one time where somebody chucks a full beer open, but it's a full beer, and he's performing, and he just does this, boom, like he's in what baseball movie am I thinking of? Like,
Major League.
Yes, you know what I mean. And then he's just like,
"Where are you?"
And then he'll chug it, and then we run off, and he's like, "Tell me you got that." And I was like, "No, I fucking did it," because it happens like that. You can't get everything. You know what I mean?
I love talking about tour, by the way. I do. It's I think there's a lot of listeners out here that want to get into it. There is a lot of pressure, though. I mean, it's not just fun as much as we can tell stories, you know. I'm getting the feeling lately, you know what I'm getting affected by? I'm shooting so much that the post is killing me. Photos. There's just, and video. There's so much need for so many things, and everybody wants things so fast now that you really are having to.
You're talking about the official post that they're doing.
Just delivery of a service. You know what I mean? When you talk about doing a photo shoot, people are wanting 200 selects, colored individually.
I know, and
this
that is
and
not.
that. You're like,
that's not you. You're always quality over quantity.
yeah, and it's affecting me in a way. We figured out a slight workaround, but I mean, it's interesting because I'm starting to see now how it's knocking on my door now. Like I can, I feel, and I think it's worth discussing because, even where people would see me kind of paving my own lane, no, I feel the squeeze.
Dude, I would say 99% of creatives, this happens to everybody. It's happened to Zach. It's happened to you. Happens to me all the time. And you will give them more selects than you want to. And then most of the time, they will pick your least favorite photo.
Yeah. That's it, man.
And then they put it up before you can even know that they selected it, and you're just like, ugh.
So,
but perfect example, you did the shoot with Morgan or whoever you're doing a shoot with, and he'll come up and he'll go, "Oh, that shot's sick," and before you probably thought, "Oh, that I didn't like that at all," and now you're like, "Oh, I guess maybe it is sick." And then you bring them back, and you're like, "Hey,
I did do
you
that
like this moment? Well, let's get you back, and I can perfect it a little more."
I do that. I will beat into something knowing I love the communication when an artist says, "I love that."
Yeah.
Okay. I can make that better.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I don't think that they're seeing that photo from the perspective that we would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But and then you really don't talk about it, with these artists who are creatives. You can't just because you're on this time crunch, you can't be like, why do you like that? Is it because of the way you look, or is it because of the environment? You know what I mean?
No, you got to interpret it yourself.
You really don't know.
No.
And because I know you're thinking of everything.
Absolutely.
You're thinking of everything, which honestly, most artists, that they care about how they look.
Yep.
Either way, whatever picture that you shoot, they're like, it's going to be dope. It could be against that wall.
Yeah.
It could be dark. It could be light. It could be outside, inside, whatever. Either way, they know that it's going to be crisp. It's going to be professionally done, and they trust you on the arts side.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, they're like, well, I want to be able to look good, at the end of the day.
Still the pressure of getting it.
The pressure.
Man, it's been a fun 2 months. We've been going to Bahamas with Yelawolf, which was fun. We're gonna get Yelawolf on the podcast to elaborate.
Yeah, talk about that. So I just got a glimpse of those pictures, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I can say only what I want to say before he comes on and shares all the fun. But yeah, it was a 5 days, 6 days, 4 days of shooting, just me,
and no plan.
No crew, no plan, no nothing.
But sometimes you get the best stuff. Isn't that weird?
Wake up, and first and foremost, it was an opulent, luxurious trip. It was awesome. It was Bahamas, 5-story house on the beach, in recording studio on a resort that Drake and Bieber record. I mean,
that's sick.
It was it.
Yeah, I saw that dinner that you're at.
What unreal. Is it? Yeah. Oh my gosh, Malay.
But you know what? There's something about okay, obviously you're living the life and you're feeling good. So if you're in a better state, so then the next day you go into the actual the shit of the city, which was not luxurious. It was just very raw and real.
Yeah, we did. We'll talk about it. But yes, that was a fun trip. And then got home and back on the road with Jake again. So
tell me this. Here's actually a decent question, because this is how the music industry works, or even as a creative. One day you don't have any work,
mm-hmm.
and you're just like shit, and then the next day you're overloaded. Now your schedule's completely booked up.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your mental state in all of that? Because I don't know. Mm-hmm. Do you get anxiety? Do you get worried? Do you get stressed?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have work, and then it could be the other way around. It's like, oh man, I'm overbooked. Now I'm too stressed. There's something about having a good core And if you're feeling good, then all of your work is going to reflect.
You couldn't be more accurate. You know, I perform as a better husband, as a better father. I'm the better version of me when I'm working, and I feel like I'm providing. I'm in my zone. I'm in my element. I do have anxiety. I have anxiety when I don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's almost like you're not hitting that creative core.
I need it. Need it. You know, I need to be better at finding more of a physical like workout regimen while I'm busy. You know, carve out that time in the beginning. I feel it's so important for me as of all people. I know it's important for all of us, but my doctor has said it was like, I'm having a heart attack. She's like, you just need a healthy dose of exercise. Go run. And I want to perform at my best on pretty much everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that level of, and I think that comes from tennis. It comes from that.
It's being a creative is like playing sports. You have to be playing sports in order to feel busy, in order to be fulfilled, to have goals in mind. Mm-hmm. So as a creative, I feel like for you too, you have to just keep fueling that thing that is like, it gets you excited. It makes you excited, and your serotonin is just like flowing out of your eyes. And then you go home and your kids, your wife, and the people in your lives, like they feel that.
Yes. And I'll tell you one thing. You said sports. I'll be honest. There are days, shoots, where you feel like, yeah, I got an L. I didn't hit. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Just like sports.
Yeah.
It wasn't your day.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean other people notice.
No,
it just means that I didn't hit at what I want. And to be honest with you, artists that know me, they hit what's wrong. I'm like, I got, you know what I mean? I got to get it. And
you're competitive with yourself.
Very much.
Yeah.
So with that, without it, I'm horrible.
And so am I, man.
You know what I mean? I need it. But now too much of it, yeah, I can get overboard. I need to find a bit more. I mean, I've been good lately. I really have. I've been realizing that I've it's hard. It's hard to realize that maybe you have been successful. Maybe it is interesting, you know, that you set out to do something and wait a minute, you blink and you're 50 years old. See, I see myself as a 20-year-old constantly.
See, as like, I don't know, you're like my age, honestly.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like I don't see it. But then when you do get forced to think of yourself, you know, aging and all that stuff, you're like, wait a minute. I'm on a different part of that mountain climb. You know what I mean? I'm not clawing my way anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't be. I need to be riding an element. You know what I mean? You need to be cresting things. Really?
Yeah. But also in this world, in the creative world, it's not like nothing's guaranteed. It's not like people should know that too. It's not like, oh, you hit your peak and now you're just making money for the rest of your life. You're going to be rich.
Great.
You're going to get phone calls every day. Like that does not happen.
No.
It's crazy how there's flow. When you're on a roll, and a lot of the work is getting out. So then you're getting phone calls, but then it gets quiet.
It always gets quiet.
It gets quiet. And that's when you start to worry, you know. But man, I'm just I'm just trying to find that balance of being too busy and wanting your work to be as good. Like this past month, you've been crushing it and you've been busy, but you've been crushing it. Mm-hmm. For me, I just for the first time, I have working on 3 different projects at once, and I just get overwhelmed, and I do need to figure out that balance and not be so hard on myself and just figure out what works. You know what I mean?
Slow down. Yeah.
And you can't overthink this stuff. Or with you, or even for me too. For anybody out there, if you're thinking about aging, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you even talking about that? And one, it doesn't do anything good for anybody, you know. Maybe the perspective of okay, maybe tomorrow I'm not going to wake up or something, so I'm going to make today the best, or I'm going to make this shoot the best. If you need to get into that, you know.
Yeah, but I would contest to say that, you know, there is so many, let's just use photographers, that maybe feel like they are getting out of touch because they're getting older. That doesn't mean their skill set hasn't changed, but they're getting out of touch with the grind. The grind is different. How to play the field is different. Having the energy to go out and grind. My grind now is matching my energy at 50. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's a much more bougier grind, I guess I would say. It's much more civilized, but it doesn't mean I wasn't homeless. It doesn't mean I didn't hop fences to eat. It doesn't mean I didn't you know what I mean? Like the grind was very real.
The grind changes.
It absolutely does.
But it's still a grind. Yeah.
For some people,
you need to write a book.
But for some people who are, amazing photographers feel their work is dated because maybe they haven't changed their style or, picked, not even change a style, just get in with the new stuff. Or
I think that's both of our grinds right now.
Staying in on
because I just said it.
things.
I keep shooting the same thing.
Okay.
And I literally have to look myself in the mirror and go, let's get into a new space. Let's get re-inspired in a different direction. You're still going to make your work, but how do I do something different? How do I, expand this creative,
Yelawolf's quote is, Spidey, I want you out of your comfort zone.
Man.
I want to go back to when it was
Yelawolf's your dad, man.
I mean, he said it and he did it and he executed it, and I get texts and phone calls. We did it. You did it.
See,
you know what I mean?
That's awesome, man.
And
that's you could look at your photos and not be completely fulfilled, but when the artist, your friend, is like, I love this, or sick, or stoked, that makes you feel so good.
Yeah. Now I love those photos. I honestly, I do. I think right now I'm very happy to end this kind of how have we been the last 2 months. I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful for the projects that I've done. I feel like, without sounding like anything, I feel like, honestly, I'm where I should be. I feel comfortable. I feel
you're killing it. You're
I feel
on a roll.
good. I feel like all the projects are different. All the clients are leaning on me to do me. I'm keeping them abreast of what we're doing, so they know the movie or photos that are beforehand. The business and the end game, what they get is stoked. So I'm really cool. I'm really stoked.
Yeah. You're getting hired to do Spidey work. No one's coming in here telling you how to make your stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for any creatives or photographers or whatever. It's like, hey, we love your style. Come bring that to what we have going on.
I think someone asked that question at one point, is
that people bring you in for your style and they're not telling you what to do.
The question was, how do you kind of get to that place where you are kind of dictating the shots? And honestly, it's sticking to a style, being known for that thing, whatever that is, and respectfully sticking your ground and educating the clients on, maybe we should see it this way, rather than just being yes. Like, hold on, they have creative ideas too, but they don't necessarily know all that you know and or what you have in the footage.
Standing your ground of who you are as a creative and having the to say no, and to be confident enough to provide those ideas that they initially wouldn't have.
Absolutely. I mean, number one, you can't say no with having a quick rebuttal as to what's the solution. You can't just be a no person. And I don't like to be no ever, but I definitely am not a yes man. I'm a collaborator, and the way those conversations usually happen is they either see it one way or the other, or you try it out. A lot of times I try it out and they see, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you've from the time that I've known you, you've been a guy who's like, yeah, let's do it, let's get it, and then deep down you're like, yeah, but let's fuck off after that.
Yeah, get it. But it's not what I see, but let's get it.
Yeah,
they're going to ask for it later.
Do you think you're growing into more of actually saying no? It's like there's power in saying no.
Yes, there is a power to no. I think I've said, I don't know when, but what and how, but no is in my opinion, the transition moment when you really know you're taken to that next step. Honestly, because now you have to possibly get out of a rotation. And so much of this business is staying in the rotation, right? Staying in the loop. And to say no means, nah, I need to do this.
But people probably think you know, all right, I have a gig, especially for people that maybe start out. I got a gig and I just want to be easy to work with. And I'm just going to say yes to all these people and they're going to like me. But I think that I disagree. I think if you go in there, you put your nuts on the table and you're like, no, confidently, I think this is a better idea and this is what we should shoot.
It depends on what that is for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not saying that people should go in there and being like, no, we're going to do this for double the amount of money. Like, you still have to be smart about it. But on a creative standpoint, to hone in on your craft and your vision.
Like, I know on this Leave video, you know, people are like, uh-oh, I don't want to give these notes. They seem like they're big fixes. Well, once they told me what the notes were, I'd already suspected one of them. Yeah. And the other one, I said, well, then just send it to me and we'll try it out. No big deal. Like, it's, let's try this thing out.
Yeah.
You can't veto one thing in the video that you are seeing and then not even demonstrate something else that someone is saying. Like, audition it.
Yeah.
If we're in this phase of auditioning what we want, then let's let the artist have.
Yeah.
They want to do this. Let me entertain it.
Yeah. For the record, save your last project and then work on a new project. You could show it to them and then they won't like it.
Yeah.
Still got your last one.
You gotta show that you're willing to handhold or to walk them down the finish line. I mean, if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to do the big jobs.
Just to mark for future reference when we do have these artists come on, like, that would be such a good question to ask them in their studio or when they're writing a song, like Hardy especially, being like, how well do you deal with criticism and how effective is it towards making like a number one hit or like the greatest song or just a song in general, you know what I mean? Because nowadays these songwriters, there's 4 people in the room. Well, when you're on set, there's a lot more than 4 people, you know what I mean? So everyone has opinions, but how do you work together and meet in the middle? You kind of have to, you are doing it the right way. You're like, yeah, let's try it out. Like, yeah, that's no biggie. I don't think that's the thing, but let's try it out.
You have to. The main thing is politically.
Yeah.
You need to know when to lay on what sword. You're right. I mean, not every hill is one to die on. Right. It's like, okay, show that you're willing to go the extra mile, and therefore, if it comes down to a conversation, they're going to hear you. I mean.
It also goes to how to work with artists. They are just as creative and we'll say it, they're emotional
and more off the wall,
and they're completely off the wall.
Words,
and at the end of the day, they are the boss. They are paying the bills. So you do have to figure out. It's almost like if you're at a company and the CEO is like, "Hey, I want you to do this." You know, like, no questions asked, but you should be, if you deep down, you're like, no, man, I have a better idea that's going to be more effective. If it's almost like you have to know how to work with certain artists because they're their own individual. How do I hit them with criticism, but not in a harsh way?
Here's the other thing, though, just stating facts. When an artist is hiring you at that level, they're going to trust you. As well. So it's going to be a wonderful, it's going to be a back and a conversation.
It also depends on your relationship.
Exactly.
My criticism to Hardy or to anybody 3 years ago is different than now.
Yeah.
Now, if he doesn't like an idea of mine, I mean, we're like best friends, so he could just be like, "Nah, I think you're a fucking idiot," and then we laugh about it and we just walk away.
Sure.
Which is fine. Which is actually when you get into that comfort zone that you don't have anything blocking you from bringing out your ideas, that's when like magic can happen. You know what I mean? When there's no fear involved in any project,
that segue is a perfect segue that I've been meaning to ask you. You threw it away. You thought I wasn't going to notice. You said something to the effect, that now you're able to jump back onto some creative stuff on the road. What does that mean for you? That you know what I mean? What is you said earlier, I'm able to I now got the go to shoot some real creative stuff. Does that mean changing up what you're doing? Does that mean shooting the room longer, not looking for highlights because you're looking for conversations or for him to open up to you in a moment that you're just rolling, standing in that moment? I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. There's highlight shooting where you're like, blah. All right, I'm out. And you go downstairs, you shoot me.
Yeah.
All that crap, right?
Yeah.
Then there's...
And I think I did both.
Nothing's happening. And you just
but I'm not gonna lie.
They're just looking at the corner of their eye. And then that awkwardness is be like, did anybody show up tonight? You know what I mean? And now you're like, yeah, it's full house. Full house. Yeah, whatever it is.
I know, but I got that from you. You're like, man, this year I really want to see you just hone in on the moment in the frame. You don't have to move so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I've gotten feedback from Hardy about, documentary type stuff, which, maybe people will see now or they'll see it later on. But it's, we're listening to a brand new song and he's like, yo, just got this demo back. And we're on the bus and it's just me and him. And I just have my VHS and I'm getting his reaction while also listening to the song. Mm-hmm. So that is completely different than being on stage and like, oh, here's a big moment and I got to get the moment coming in here. And, it's different. So, but for me, I personally feel like I haven't made anything cool. Like things that kids will stop and they'll go, oh, this is, this looks fucking awesome. Or, oh, this is so different, or it's dark, it's gritty, it's cinematic. I just feel like I haven't gotten back to that world. And I kind of, in a way, from the boss being like, no, we got to make some weird shit. We got to bring it back. We got to remind people that like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we party our asses off, but like people know that. It's almost like, how do you tell the story in a fun way that no one else is doing, which is what we did back in the day.
I got to bring up something.
I'm listening.
I can reflect on my career, and what you just said sparked something, and that is almost all of my coolest ideas with artists and projects are with them, talking to them in a alone space, going, it'd be dope if we did this. Mm-hmm. And you start talking about it. Next thing you know, 2 months from now, you're doing that.
Yeah.
I can probably on 4 different hands talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, you just said it because like, it's those conversations, those one-on-ones that really birth or spawn cool projects or a different direction or something with those artists. Wouldn't you say? It doesn't come from the labels down.
No, not at all. I feel like almost most of the time when I'm sitting in a room with him, and again, it's weird now because I don't look at him like he's not a famous guy to me anymore.
For sure, yes.
He's just my friend. I have this like inner responsibility to be more open and honest. And whether it has to do with ideas or just if we're talking about criticism of certain things that maybe like are not right, that you'd be afraid to like bring attention to
vulnerability.
Him. But you have a responsibility. You worked so hard to build this relationship. Make some magic. Like if people looked at you and Yelawolf in a room, like this big reunion that you guys had, and it's like, oh, y'all got to make some magic. You did it back in the day. There's a reason why life brought you back together. Let's do it again. And let's just make cool shit, because it's almost like you have a responsibility on a big picture of this whole life to make dope shit.
You just took the words out of Wolf's mouth. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly how this is. That's why he calls it, everything's like, happy birthday. Yo, what's up? Happy birthday, dude. Every day is your birthday.
And I think that concept alone, it like forces you to just keep going. Maintain your relationships. Fucking go get coffee, go get beers, go get whatever. It doesn't matter, wish somebody happy birthday. Like maintain these relationships, not for the sake of like, oh, I want to get work, but it's like because you know that you're connected to these people for a reason and you can thrive if you guys have such a good relationship.
Yes. Your work speaks. It just, what does Wolf say? He said it on a photo shoot or two. He's like, man, I can, you can recreate. You can take Johnny Cash's guitar, and you can play Johnny Cash's music, but it just ain't Johnny Cash. And you can get a photograph of me, but there's just something different. If it's a Spidey photograph, it's just you and you know how to capture.
It is
me.
I if I were to shoot him in a certain set, it just would not be the same.
And he says that he's like, I'm spoiled.
And some of the times you can't. Some of the times you can't explain it.
Sure. Oops.
You know.
Yeah.
Like the people who just analyze too much, they don't understand.
It's the friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, and how I shoot, but it's the friendship. It's how does Yelawolf, let his guard down in the way he does for me in photographs in the spaces that he does. Where does he do that? He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the specialness of it. And it speaks. It comes out in the photographs.
Yeah, and I think for all viewers, whether they're creatives or not, whether they understand art or not, like you're not supposed to. You're just supposed to experience it for what it is. So it's like your artistry with his music. Sometimes I don't know why it's dope, but that is so dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's yeah.
It's been a good one. It's been an amazing relationship in the fact that it's 10 years later, a reunion with the guys that we all kind of kicked off with during Love Story, but due to all kinds of different attributes, it ended as it was climbing. So like I think really it's part 2 is the finish of the climb, and they are motivated fitness junkies, positivity.
Part 2 of the grind.
Part 2 of the grind, man. Yelawolf and the boys, Bones, Clever. They're just they needed time apart. They needed to figure out things.
We'll talk more
yeah,
about
we'll
that.
get into it then.
On that note, we're going to bring in some guests. I think it's time that people see some conversations between these creatives on this side of the camera and these creatives on that side, and the relationships that we have with these artists. It's awesome, and I can't wait for people to come on.
We asked for some questions, and closing out each episode, we're gonna answer one question each episode. And I questioned the other day. Let me put a little backstory on this. This is the band's story of the year. I've done like 8 videos for them.
Legends, dude.
Amazing. They were the ones doing backflips. And anyway, they're grinding and killing it right now.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
Ryan and Adam. Ryan is the guitarist and Adam's the bassist. Adam is an avid filmmaker. And even during our making videos back from Until the Day I Die, 2003, to Take Me Back, big videos, man. They were always right there learning, soaking. And they actually, at the beginning of their career, what got them signed was the Story of the Year video they made of the band.
Oh, so Adam's been a part of the creative for them.
Yes, he is a visual person. He loves filmmaking. He loves that element of the band. Same with Ryan, but they both are filmmakers.
Most of the time, that is so awesome.
It's amazing.
It always reflects better, and it's more on point to their craft and their music.
And it's made our friendship stick around because during their sabbatical years, they were making films, and Ryan was being a photographer, and Ryan and I talked a lot during COVID. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I say all that because not long ago, Adam asked me a question, but he gave me a voice to text. And when we asked questions for these episodes, I thought, oh my God, that would be a perfect question.
Which, by the way, anybody who brings in questions, we read all of them. And we kind of want to figure out, all right, what's the biggest and best one?
Yes, absolutely.
That we haven't covered already. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a fool, and I didn't know that once you play it, it deletes. And I kind of forgot the sentiment. So I thought it would be fun. I don't know if he's going to answer. If he does answer, we'll talk it through, hopefully. If not, we'll figure out another question.
No voice memo. We're calling him right now.
We're going to call him. But if he picks up, we'll figure out another question. We'll go to question 2. So no stress. But let's holler at the dude.
If he doesn't answer, I'll call my mom. She's
All right, so this
dying
is
to answer
Adam.
the phone.
Yo, hey, I have you on the podcast if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Is it? Can I call you on the spot? All right. Hey, hey, real quick, meet Tanner. Tanner is my co-host. You need to look him up on IG, Tanner Gallagher. He's everything of a rad visual content maker. He's exclusively with Hardy, but he's my co-host, and we're live. We're not live, but we're being recorded. But
Adam, you're our first unofficial guest, and we are honored to have you on here.
I'm honored to be the first.
Let's
and
go.
I've already set it up about our relationship, you know. And if you have to go do something, just let me know. I'm thanks for doing this. But you asked a question a while back. I was on the road with Jake. You had a lot of sentiment to it, and I loved how the question was awesome. And I want to answer that. Could you ask that question again?
Yes, but let me preface this by saying I come to you with questions. I've come to you with questions over the years. You've been a great mentor for me half my life at this point. And I often come to you with questions where I have my own answer, but I want to check myself, and see if I'm on some bullshit. So I go to you. Sometimes I give you that answer in the question. Sometimes I just wait for it. But this is one of those where I have my answer on, and I want to see if I'm coming from the right place. So my question was, should a director be expected to be a competent editor? And I'm not talking about like a world-class editor, someone who can, a Michael Kahn who can throw some shit at Spielberg that Spielberg never thought of, right? But a competent editor who can put down, a first rough cut that tells the story in a way that doesn't lose people, that it feels good, obviously isn't the final, but feels like, okay, it's not like an, oh, fuck, we got to start over kind of situation, right? Because I, as a filmmaker, started as an editor, like as a teenager, and slowly learned the storytelling process and became more of a director and writer type. So
And a visual maker.
Right. So I'll pause there. Answer to that point if you have vibes on that.
Well, first, the way I saw that question when I heard it first was me personally speaking. I don't physically edit my own videos, and I never have. Meaning, I have never put finger to keys.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to say never. Not one of my 8 Story of the Year videos back from 2003. I'm just saying never. Frank was doing those. And it's when you get into the edit, you have to know the tools as a director. Yes, you need to know what is capable in the editing software. For example, if I work with a new editor, the first thing I say is, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm going to frame fuck everything, okay? I'm going to look at everything.
Write that down.
But in doing so, my time is important as well. So you need to have all the worlds separated. I need all of your selects, pulls in each world. Okay, that's easy. So when I get into the edit and I say, can I see the diner? They go to the diner and they're not scrubbing through raw footage. No, you're scrubbing through 15 highlights. And in that 15 highlights, I can dance with 6 of them in a matter of a minute. But if you scrub as an editor, we've got a big problem.
Yeah, you have to be well organized.
You are not organized.
Especially when you're adhering to another person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Especially when there is someone over your shoulder asking for things, and otherwise you're going to get lost in the sauce. Okay?
Right.
Still answering you, no. A director does not need to be an editor. Most directors don't have time to be editors. Right? They're dealing with so many other things, most likely related to the project, right? Or other projects. But that director, he or she, firmly understands the editing process and the footage. Now, it brings me to the last part of that question, the relationship between said director and editor. If there's multiple agendas going on, well, that gets sniffed out real quick by me, right? It's not that. It's the editor has to be trying his best to deliver what is in that director's vision. And so the communication between the two is paramount. How you communicate. That coupled with the organization and your prep that Tanner was saying, you should get that edit that is about 85% rough cut. And you're going to go in and have a wonderful 15% playful experience. That's the goal.
For real quick, it'll be just for me. I've always been known as for my editing.
Yeah, you have.
So, and I don't have that big experience in directing, but I have been hired for projects being like, hey, we want you to direct. Also, you're going to edit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, fuck, that's a lot more work.
Yeah.
But they are holding a standard to me because they want the kind of edit.
They want the Tanner sauce, yeah.
Well, everyone has their own unique artistry,
of course.
And if you had a project and you're like, oh, I know this very specific editor who would crush it because that's the vision that you have. So, Adam, are you directing and editing? Is that where you're getting at?
Yeah. So, like I said, I started when I was a teenager with two VCRs, editing like that, Then eventually it was a version of Adobe Premiere on the Final Cut, on the, so and so throughout the years, right?
Yeah.
And it started with music, and although I'm not, I don't know, I don't consider myself a natural musician. I don't think I'm a great musician. I'm a pretty average bass player. But
what? You're dope, dude.
Dude, listen,
dude, we're all artistic. Just we hate all of our work. The irony,
right? Yeah. I'll go to my grave with terminal imposter syndrome, but I've always felt rhythm since I was a child, and that's visual and auditory for me. So editing came naturally, and it started by watching like the Pantera home videos and the Metallica stuff on VHS when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that early editing was trying to recreate that. So we would shoot stuff on camcorders, we'd cut it together, and sometimes it'd be lip syncing to Nirvana songs and shit, whatever. And then eventually, the way our band got signed was from an EPK on a VHS tape that Ryan Phillips and I made.
What'd you about that?
That was just in, the Blink-182 Jackass days mixed with the Pantera stuff of just lighting each other on fire, crashing.
Yeah, we call that the glory days.
Parts in the bushes. Yeah, all that shit. So it wasn't a demo CD or a demo tape. It was how we could
lifestyle.
How we could sell the lifestyle of our band to a label visually as much as auditorily as sonically, right? So this is all just to kind of set up my view on things, and I've learned to become a storyteller and a director over time, but I got there via not just the technician aspect of being an editor, but like almost like an archaeologist, brushing away the sand to reveal the bone. It's like, oh, there's the story, because we were always polishing turds. That we had a mountain of footage, turning nothing into something, right?
Yep.
So when you talk about pixel fucking something, frame fucking a whole edit, like that's me, because it started with like the grammar of like an interview piece or the visual grammar of movements on stage, and knowing how to say, okay, I'm here and here, this thing's too long. What can I cut in the middle where I don't lose the plot? But I make it seem like it was that way in the first place.
But I also think I also think your visual taste is elevating when we talk, and I think that's part of what you're transitioning to. Your style, lenses, placement, camera composition, how you move the camera, how the camera evokes an emotion, all those things. I think you're now entering into that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so much of that comes from not having what we needed in an edit. You know, learning composition, like learning what works. It's funny, like the two most influential filmmakers in my life, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. One was more of a technician who really thinks of filmmaking as what happens in the edit and finding it that way, in George Lucas. And then a dude like Spielberg who sees it all in his head. And even on the day, we'll flip a whole thing and be like, okay, we're fucked with this location or this situation at this, whatever. What if we did it like this? And
that's me.
We'll rewrite the whole shit in his head. And then still his editor will come in and do some magic. But I feel like I came in the George Lucas route where I had to toil through a pile of shit and footage to realize, oh, if this shot was composed this way, that would work. Like, here's the visual continuity, just learning eye lines and shit, not from studying it
through trial and error.
Book or something. Trial and error. I'm trying to reverse engineer why something isn't working. And all of that has informed my newer visual sense of how to be a filmmaker. But the original point of this question, I guess, was not whether or not a director needs to or should be expected to be able to sit down at Final Cut or Avid and technically cut, but more like see the edit in their head. Because Ryan Phillips and I, from day one, again, because we've spent, that Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours times 4 in fucking Final Cut in our lives. Anytime we're on a video shoot, it doesn't matter, or any kind of set, doesn't matter who's shooting, what the treatment is, whatever. We're both already in Final Cut in our heads. Like
he's visualizing the finished product.
Okay, I got you. I know your answer, and I can finally answer it. No, I think of mood. So I'm thinking of movement of camera is I'm listening to the song even when I'm doing narrative. I'm listening to the song in headphones, earbuds.
Right.
So that the camera is moving, the actors are moving, things are happening in time fluidly with some form of the song. Do you know what I mean? The cadence of the song. So no, as long as that is happening and I know that I have ins and out points of storytelling, you know what I mean? I do not see the edit. I unfold edits in the moment. But I have my ABCs. I have my alphabet, if you know what I mean. I have it to play. The reason I do that is because I like to play. Exploration is absolutely everything for me. My editor on the Best Friend video with Yelawolf and Eminem, I had like a 4-day turnaround. I didn't even use my editor once. I have never used them. I had to use all of Eminem's people. Well, I remember sleeping on the couch in LA and kind of lifting my head up as he's playing with the edit, and it was the wolf running through the cemetery, Yelawolf performing behind a thing, and I'm like, wait, bro, did you just make it look like Yelawolf hid behind the cemetery in the shadows, and now because we were screwed on set of a wolf getting lost and scared, you used that as if he needed to find his mentor, his owner, and then when he did find him, you had him run off? You're a genius. That was not something I planned. Do you know what I mean? So even Zach over there, our brother behind the scene, would say, because he was on my Lee Brice set that I invited you out to recently. It's really about how I like to work, man. I've done the thing back in your day when we were doing some of those big videos. I had everything mapped out. And I don't like that feeling because X, Y, and Z are going to go wrong, right? And then it's really hard to do the Lucas thing or the Spielberg thing, invent on the fly, because you're like, I need to have this, I need it to be like this, because you've been thinking like that, right? So the way I work nowadays is I have a very strong vision from front to back, right? But I have people that are so close to me, smaller, mightier team, that I allow
That you're confident
I
in.
allow them to shine. And I have the rope to pull them back and to ask them, hey, let's try this, let's do this. Or I just do this and that, and I protect myself in the edit. It's about having insurance in the edit so you can play, right? I want to play with my editor, not be a dictator. So my editor can do things like he did with the wolf.
Yeah. Editing is essentially trying to figure out how you can dance on a sinking ship.
Yeah.
And it's a journey. It's like a very tough journey to get there.
Yeah.
But and you will lose your fucking mind until you hit that point of like, oh wait, this is starting to make sense. Oh wait, and it's almost like your brain will calculate, like, oh, I did have this visionary. You know, it's pieces to a puzzle, and then you had this initial vision.
Mm-hmm.
So after just trial and error, you eventually hit that, and it won't be exact. It won't be perfect. You have to understand that, but there's a moment of magic when you are editing.
Yeah, like Kevin Kerslick, you know, my idol, he did not have an edit by edit of Nirvana Come As You Are.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he knew that darn chandelier where that dog was going to look like that coming down the water. You know what I mean? And he plays in the edit. He's the one who taught me that, hey, get the footage and play. Play, mold it, create it, have an idea. And a lot of the time your editor is going to have to create the structure because maybe you shot too much. You shot too many cool things and you got to leave some things on the floor.
That's overwhelming.
And now you got to restructure it a little bit. That's not really for you to do or to get in the weeds of. You know what I mean? He'll alert you and then you'll get in the edit on your day off, on your day or two to go in. Yeah, see, I allow my editor 3 to 4 days without me. A day to digitize, 3 days to play. And then I have minimum 1 full day, if not 2. And then it's delivered. And it usually isn't but a 99% edit, you know, and it's just can you change this shot? Sure. You know, my mantra is allow me the back end so it's a quick delivery. Because you have to play. You have to see where that footage can go.
Yeah, to make those pieces of the puzzle, that takes a lot of work. And if you get those, then you feel confident that they'll put it together.
That's it. To take that video, that emotion to that level, it requires going down blind alleys and wasting those 4 hours to know that that's not going to work. Yeah. And if you hold on too tight, you're not going to explore the possibilities that are there. Like, again, I'm about to use a reference, the Lost Wolf. My favorite scene in the video. I had no clue. So, hey man, thank you so much for did that answer you?
It did, and it's just really interesting. But I will say, I'll close by saying, I fully understand everything you're saying, and you're like, we are speaking each other's languages, of course. But I would say, maybe this is going back to the beginning, that imposter syndrome. You're more of an editor than you realize, because every director sits over their editor's shoulder and calls shots at some point, and you're seeing that sequence in your head. Although you're giving orders to do the technical thing with the keyboard and the mouse, you're editing in your head. You might not see it that way on the set, but you know the ingredients you need to cook up and to bring to the kitchen. So yeah, I take a little credit for being an editor, intellectually.
Oh man, I love you, dude. I was explaining our history, man, and I'm glad you mentioned the early video cassette that got Story of the Year signed, because that was what we saw when we got to work with you. And this many years later, honestly, you guys are the ones hanging with me the longest since the days, man. I really, shooting those photos of y'all not too long ago on that rooftop is like, yo, get the boys ready for an episode. Summertime St. Louis rooftop.
We're coming to St. Louis. We're coming.
Yeah, man. we appreciate you so much, and I know Ryan and I especially owe you such a huge debt for helping mentor us through our respective paths as creatives.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I love it, man. I love you guys. We'll talk later, okay, bud?
All right, dude. Good talk.
Later, man. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Later.
Moral of the story is after you're done telling yourself you suck and you're a mess, you're fucking good at it and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, man. That was fun. I hope you guys liked this episode. I sure had a wonderful time. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The numbers are really helping out. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.
In the trenches.